Hey there, and welcome to Fan Theory Queries, where we analyze fan theories from all over the internet, but mostly Reddit. I'm Laura.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Spencer. And guys, it hasn't been very long since this movie came out. And so
we're trying to ride that heat.
yeah, we're going to put together a fun little, spoiler warning to go in front of every episode. But this is especially relevant for the movie Glass Onion, the latest Knives Out mystery, which was a very enjoyable one. Mm-hmm. And this theory is called What the Mysterious Throat Spray Really Was. That moment when,
Ethan Hawke.
What's his character's name in Moon Knight?
Oh, I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Well, Ethan Hawke, glass shoe character for Moon Knight, comes up.
You did ask me that when we saw him.
crunch.
Do you think he has glass in
Yeah,
his
he
shoes?
Yeah, because it focused on his shoes at one point.
Well, because he probably came straight from that set.
Yeah, probably.
Uh-huh.
All right, let me read this thing.
You gonna
This
name
is from
OP?
This is from Hoi Kuneho. The setting of the movie is clearly during the middle of the pandemic. Social distancing, Among Us, remote meetings, and cloth masks. The majority of the main characters wear a mask. Birdie's being my favorite non-mask, very fitting for her character. Before the main cast boards the boat to take them to the island, Miles's Mr. Man in white uses a mysterious device that sprays a high-pressure mist into the throats of each guest, and everyone is told they don't need to put their masks on. They're good. Blanc asks if there was some sort of disinfectant without reply. Upon viewing the initial scene, it's implied that this is some sort of oral COVID vaccine that takes immediate effect. Miles could have created with his bottomless wealth and access to the best biotech money can buy. Movie-wise, it's a convenient explanation for why the main cast doesn't have to wear masks for the rest of the movie. This device does beg a few questions. How can a miracle spray like this be created so quickly? How can something like this be administered orally and take effect so quickly? If this works, why hasn't this been released to the public? There are a few different explanations. Spray vaccines are not necessarily in the realm of fantasy, with trials ongoing for COVID-19. In addition, medical jet injectors, similar in appearance to the device in Glass Onion, were a common method for delivering vaccines. And also, it's not unheard of for some vaccines to start to take into effect 1 to 2 days after the last administering dose. Also, maybe this is not administered to the public because it needs FDA approval, or there is no way to mass produce at the moment. However, there is a simpler explanation for this, which is the miracle COVID immunity spray is nothing but a placebo. I 100% believe that Miles thinks that this works, that he paid some scientists to hastily put this together, but it absolutely wasn't vetted and is in no way effective. As we've seen with the solid hydrogen idea, Miles will not hesitate to push something that is unvalidated despite concerns from peers. He's the facade of an ineffective idiot disguised as misunderstood genius. The spray helps with the movie plot in a few ways. It produces an in-universe plot device while there are no masks needed on the island. It gives a reason for Duke to foreshadow to the audience that Duke don't dance with pineapple. Like Miles, this spray is perceived initially as mysterious yet genius by the audience, but is later revealed to be idiotic. Too long didn't read. The throat spray is placebo that represents how Miles seems genius at first, but turns out to be dumb.
Okay.
It's just dumb.
So dumb, it's genius. No, it's just dumb.
No, it's just dumb. So, did y'all, when we watched this and saw this particular scene, did y'all question what that was?
Not at the beginning.
I just saw it as a convenient plot device, personally.
Okay.
Yeah, to be able to get their masks off.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just...
Especially the way they were like, oh, we don't have to wear our masks anymore after they got the spray. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, thank you. We didn't understand what that was
Yeah.
for.
But Laura, you said not at first when you saw it. Were you going to say
Right,
that later?
yeah, at the
Did you
beginning of
start
the
to
movie
question?
when they first were administering it, I was like, oh, cool. It's a COVID thing. But then after I watched the movie, after it was over, and thinking back through everything and like that scene with Duke of the Duke Don't Dance with Pineapple, and being reminded of the spray and seeing how dumb Miles is, I think I disagree with OP just slightly on on what's actually going on there, but I kind of feel like I want to save what I'm gonna say for my rating.
Okay. All right, Michael, anything else to add before we go into some comments?
Um, I think anything that I would add also has to do with my rating. So let's go ahead and get to the comments.
Okay, because these are fun. He Busy says, before the Miles is an idiot reveal, I thought the spray might have just been actual COVID. Don't need a mask because everyone has it, right?
Wow.
But then that shows I'm the idiot. And then Albo2402 says, it's so dumb, it's brilliant.
No,
And
that was
then
Kate
someone
Hudson's
else-
line, not
Yeah,
that was not Benoit's line.
yeah. Sorry. Well, I didn't mean to say it with that accent. Then, new comment, Huggles7, or it's one of the premises of his entire mystery to begin with. He said himself there are some pieces of the mystery weekend that are meant to throw you off entirely. He could just be some person that hated masks and realized all I have to do is give people something and tell them they don't have to wear them, and then voila, everyone will comply. That's interesting. But then, in reply to that, please don't bing me, said, but as we found out, everything meant to throw you off was just Miles thinking he was smarter than everyone else. Most of the other characters really weren't complying anyway, so I think it's just another tip of the hat to Miles thinking he had a super secret COVID serum that was BS, like OP said. Next comment is from Icarus. They say, more than that, one can consider this question. Why set up the movie within COVID pandemic if it is to cancels it completely by an anti-COVID spray? It would have been wiser to set up the movie out of any temporality, like many post-2020 movies did. Setting it within COVID temporality, here it indeed served foreshadowing, Duke's pineapple or Miles' magnitude, and was then used up front to explain the physical split between characters. Basically, they're saying, beyond the soul spray effectiveness, COVID temporality has been cleverly used to build up character settings and situationality. I don't know if these are words.
Now, it sounds like this person
It's
lost
like
their
Miles is made
thesaurus, and they lost
this
their
Miles.
thesaurus, and they decided that they thought they remembered some of the words from it, and they just took a shot.
Like I said, it's like Miles making up those words.
Yes.
It's just dumb.
I don't know, like, they do bring up a good question, though. This movie didn't really have to be set up in a
Yeah.
pandemic. I think they could have made a way to make those plot points work without using COVID as a plot device.
I
Wasn't
agree.
there something at the
I
very
think-
beginning? Because the first thing we see is like that factory place where Leslie Odom Jr. works. And I thought there was something about them making some kind of COVID something. I don't know if it was PPE. I don't know if it was a vaccine. Something that's
I don't know,
like,
but-
that's when the solid hydrogen or whatever that energy was. That's why that was next on the slate, was because right now they were having to pivot and focus on COVID reaction.
I don't know. Even if that was written in, I still like the bulk of the movie. In my opinion, doesn't need to involve COVID whatsoever. But
Yeah,
I mean,
from
it's
a
their
writing
movie. They can
standpoint,
make it.
from a writing standpoint, you could literally pull out the whole COVID plot device, and it would still be the same movie. It's just there would be some details that were slightly different.
Yeah.
But you could find a way very easily to make it work without the whole COVID thing.
Well, in that case, I do believe it's time for a wee little ad break before we get to our ratings. So let's go and hit that little button. Now, before we make a conjecture by ratings this theory, Michael, will you present the last piece of evidence to our listeners?
Uh, I don't know what you mean.
The rating scale, Michael. Tell them what our rating scale is, please.
Oh, I got it. Okay. It would be my pleasure. The highest rating that we have is Genius. This is reserved for only the best theories, which we believe are better than the actual canon. The next step down is plausible. It's a good theory, it's believable. Unlikely is next. It's not a terrible theory, but pretty unlikely, as the name suggests. And then the last thing is preposterous. These are the theories that are just stupid. Basically, we're all dumber for having listened to them.
Okay.
All right.
Ratings
So
time.
this was a pretty cut and dry theory. Not a whole lot of mental gymnastics we need to make. So Laura, I'm gonna go to you first. What is your rating for this theory?
Okay, so just being in the world of the movie, watching it for the very first time, seeing this throat spray being administered, I thought, oh my gosh, this is it. This is how somebody's going to die. That's a poison. One of them's just going to drop dead. Like, I really thought that was going to happen, but no, it didn't happen that way. So then reading this theory, the way that OP lays it out, the part that I am taking a right turn from them, okay, is that Miles thinks that this works, that he paid some scientists to hastily put this together. That's where I take a right turn. I believe that Miles just knows that the influence that he has on these friends, they would believe anything he said anyway, so he knew all along. And he
Yeah.
literally just made it a placebo. Like, he doesn't think
Yeah.
it works.
Yeah.
He knows, oh, just put some stuff in a spray them in the throat. They'll think it's some kind of COVID cure, and that way they'll take their masks off while they're visiting with me. That's where I diverge from ROP. So I will give this a plausible because I think differently, that he didn't think this was actually a cure and somebody bamboozled him. I think he was bamboozling everybody the entire time.
Well, since I'm going to go ahead and jump in before you, Michael, because
Okay.
I'm 100% on the same page, Laura. I think that because sure he's dumb, but at the same time, he does things intentionally, and he does have I mean, he's evil. Like, he's done things to, he's nefarious. He's done
He's
bad
already
things.
murdered Andy at this point.
Yeah, yeah. So
Oh, sorry,
I think
spoiler.
that okay, I wouldn't put it past him to be like, I don't care if they get COVID, just do this. It'll make everyone feel more comfortable. We'll be able to have fun. No one will be worried about getting COVID. So we'll just do this. So yeah, I'm 100% on the same page. So like it gives me as far as this being it just being a placebo, I think that this theory is genius. But I don't know if I can give it genius because that's not exactly. I don't 100% agree with what they said. So I guess I'll give it a plausible, like you, Laura. But
Great.
if because their sentence is, I 100% believe that Miles thinks that this works. So I don't. So plausible. Michael, what about you?
Well, I've been thinking about it and bouncing kind of back and forth on this, but when I really think about it, I feel like regardless of whether he knew it was a placebo or not, my rating would still be the same. And I think that it's plausible. I think that it could be plausible that he was so much of an idiot that he genuinely thought it was a miracle cure. But I also think it's plausible that he knew it was a placebo and knew the kind of influence that he had over his friends, and he needed a way to get them to come to his private island during this time of COVID. And I think that he's the type of person that in order to kind of maintain his influence over his friends, he needs to constantly be around them and be physically in the presence of them so that he can use his ways of manipulation to kind of further dig the claws in. And I think he was starting to get scared that being away for too long with COVID and stuff and being isolated was maybe loosening his grip on all of them. And so he
That's a good
created
point.
this situation to where he could get them all there.
Interesting.
So all that to say,
Okay.
regardless of which way you think on that, I still think it's plausible.
Well, we need to start getting some more controversial theories up here. We're starting to agree too much.
I know.
So maybe we can find one. But until we do, I want to leave everybody with a fascinating movie detail that I came across the other day. This is from Advocate Saint, which I believe we've shared some of their fascinating stuff as well. So you know this is
Welcome
going
back
to be
to
a
the
winner.
show. Yeah.
I love this. This is because it's about my favorite movie. In the Batman, Robert Pattinson has a leaner build than other Batmen because he refused to drink protein supplements when working out. When asked why, he just said that there was something in the way.
Okay, yeah. That's enough of that. That's enough. This has been Fan Theory Queries. I'm Laura.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Spencer. In our next episode, we ask, are the Will-O'-the-Wisps the real villains of Disney's Brave? Subscribe to Fan Theory Queries so you don't miss out on that and other fascinating fan theories.
You sound like a character from Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Good. Okay. Oh, welcome
Yeah.
back now.